Here.
Mr. Glass.
Here.
Ms. Viola.
Here.
Mr. Zagelka. Ms. Byfield. Ms. Davis. Here. Ms. Palumbo. And our attorney, Eric Bernstein.
Okay, the
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes. Yes.
Mr. Glass, you were not present at that meeting, so you'll abstain.
Abstain.
Ms. Viola.
yes.
Ms. Davis.
Yes.
Ms. Palumbo, yes.
This is, we have no resolutions and correspondence. What is this?
That's resolution.
That is a resolution, okay.
Madam Chair, at the October 13th, 2020 meeting of the Borough Council of Victory Gardens, the Borough Mayor and Council introduced Ordinance 2020-01, which is adding a permitted use and definition for a cannabis dispensary by allowing the revision of the existing borough code relative to possible uses within the business district. In accordance with the municipal land use law, that has been referred, and this is actually 4055D26, has been referred to the planning board for determination as to whether this is consistent with the master plan and whether the board wishes to refer it back to the governing body for second reading and possible adoption. What's before is the issue of a land use related item and allowing for the possibility of a cannabis dispensary as a permitted use in the business district in accordance with section 23-7.1 of the existing borough code. The board has been given planner.
John, I have you down. I have you over there.
Let the record reflect that Mr. Cizelka has joined the meeting at 7:04. How are you, sir? It's a pleasure of you all, I believe, are in possession of said. This has been noticed, this meeting was noticed, and ultimately, depending on the board's decision as to whether or not to adopt the resolution, has been provided by my office to refer the matter back to the mayor and council for their consideration. Anyone want to hear from the planner?
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I did review the borough's most recent master plan re-examination report dated September 27, 2017, and essentially reviewed the B-zone district and determined that if a cannabis dispensary use is going to be proposed as a permitted use in the borough, this would be the appropriate district for that. This use is most closely related to a retail type use, and this is the main business and commercial district in the borough. So I essentially found that it's my opinion that it's not inconsistent with the master plan. If the board agrees, then as our attorney said, we would refer the resolution back to if the board has any concerns with any body as well.
So, am I correct in everything that's underlined would be an addition to?
Yes. Everything in brackets would be a deletion, and everything underlined is an addition. So on the ordinance you have a copy of, it's basically the changes on page 2 and page 3 of the ordinance.
Recreational or medical.
Correct.
And So we're here to determine if this is consistent with master plan. Not other.
Which, when it's not really somebody before us that wants to open something, correct?
Because in the absence of such, if somebody were to come before you, you would not necessarily be allowed to do those kinds of things. You set their days of the week, hours of operation, etc. This is basically, if they wanted to come in for something different, they would have to come and ask the board for ostensibly a variance from the conditions established in the ordinance.
We'll vote. Then we have a motion to accept it.
I think it's a motion to open to the public, to allow the public to speak on the resolution.
Okay. Okay, can I get a motion to open?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any member of the public wishes to speak on the resolution?
Yeah, me.
Jim, do you want to go over, by John?
Sure.
Not too close.
How's this? Right, Division on 15 Franklin Road. I wanted to ask, this ordinance was drafted by who? By the planning board attorney?
Yes. At the
Okay.
request of the borough.
But you work for an autonomous board. This board is separate from the mayor and council. And this board didn't give me any direction on doing this because they didn't even know what they wanted. So I don't understand how you're able to.
Mr. Giannone, I wasn't asked on behalf of this board, I was asked on behalf of the mayor and council.
Yeah, but you work for this board, not for mayor and council. Mayor and council has their own attorney. That's why I'm asking, because you're supposed to work for this, you know, you can't have two different clients. I wanted to know why you don't have in here, or let me ask you this, where did you get the model to write this ordinance for the zoning? I mean, did you make this up, or is it based on other towns, or what?
It's based on our understanding of the law, it's not based on model.
Because the board hasn't discussed it, this is the first time, like this is printed, and the board hasn't even seen it, to even make comment on it until tonight. Because there's some things I want to know why they weren't put in there, like signage. Other towns have developed in their ordinance under zoning that signage has to be very limited because of the nature of the business. You know, like nondescript, basically other than just their name.
The applicant would be governed by the current sign ordinances and signage requirements of the borough.
Well, I don't think the sign ordinance says it can't be too descriptive of the type of business. It doesn't limit you on that. Other towns have put that a thought ahead and said, we're going to limit you on how descriptive you can be.
Right.
You don't want a marijuana plant on the side of the building, you know, because then people are going to know what it is. And licensing, how come we don't have anything regarding licensing in with that? Because other towns are creating revenue from it, having a licensing fee just for this type of business.
Well, having represented a number of municipalities, the licensing fee is frankly a misnomer. The medical marijuana provisions are established in accordance with the existing law as to what revenue the municipality can and cannot receive. And any ordinance adopted by any municipality relative to recreation will probably be subject to assuming that the public passes the ballot question on Tuesday.
This has nothing to do with that. That's for recreational. This is for
This has
medical.
goes.
Completely separate. Medical has been approved and legal in this state.
Right.
Well, other towns, like I said, have developed licensing fees.
The issue of the establishment of a licensing fee does not rest with, I suggest that you have a conversation with the mayor and council on the
Oh, believe me, I will.
licensing fee, because licensing fee doesn't fall in the purview of this entity.
Okay, all right. The last thing I had was, outdoor, the storage of products. Because of the unique nature of this type of product that they could store, these couple of towns have actually put it in their ordinance or their zoning regulation of not allowing any kind of storage unless it's indoors. How come we don't include that with the one we have?
If you know anything about this type of industry, you have to grow it indoors.
Yeah, but I mean, you can
Our
grow
building
it,
in Randolph
and once you
allows it.
grow it, you can store it to dry. I mean, I don't know the whole
And it is
industry
dried
aspect,
Indoors.
but I'm just saying, you don't want to have this stuff outside in a secured spot. So why not regulate it by saying it can't be permitted outside?
Because the industry doesn't do it outside.
Well, I'm not, you don't know that.
I do, because my son is in the industry.
Well,
in
every
Colorado, so.
location could be different. Every town is
Well,
different.
then you don't need to regulate that.
Well, I
If
just
it's
think
going
you're-
to be different every time.
Yeah,
We'll deal with
okay.
it when the site plan comes.
Yeah, okay. And the last thing I have is who's voting on this? Who's eligible to vote? Because this is a zoning, so it should be zoning, Board of Adjustment.
No, it's
No.
land.
Why
The
not?
land use, all members of the board are eligible to vote on, including those who are members of the mayor and council. Because it's merely a referral resolution.
Well, it's not a resolution, you're voting on a,
No, it's a
Ordinance.
resolution. No, we're not voting on the ordinance. You're voting on a resolution. The only people who can vote on an ordinance are mayor and council.
yeah. Well, that's what was referred to as this ordinance.
Right, and so what the board is being asked to is to adopt a resolution approving the adoption and referring it back to the governing body.
All right, that's all you have to say. I'll be a wise guy.
Anybody else from the public? Motion to close the meeting to the public?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a motion to adopt?
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution, referring this back to the mayor and council, that it is consistent with the master plan.
Yes.
Mr. Glass,
No.
Ms. Viola,
No.
Mr. Zagelka,
No.
Ms. Davis,
No.
Ms. Palumbo. So the motion, the resolution does not pass.
The governing body, however, has the right, so that everybody's aware, in the absence of an approving resolution, to wait 35 days to take an action from the introduction and move forward if it so chooses.
Do we need to give them reasons why we are not recommending?
So you found it to be inconsistent with the master plan?
You know, we try to be consistent with the master plan.
That's what the resolution says. That it's consistent with the master plan.
You said you were?
So, we should at least. Why do
The voting is so personal feeling.
Because it's a new thing, so maybe we need to look into what other things that I'm just not.
so you don't feel it's detailed enough? More restrictive?
Yeah, I think,
Thank you all.
anybody else?
Write a letter to them?
I will send a letter to the mayor and council indicating the resolution.
I guess a motion,
Read the motion.
no.
Well, I'll make a motion for you to document this to the council.
I'll try to write it down.
Yeah. Okay. John, have a motion?
Close. Before we close. This is it for me. This is it. This is my last and final meeting. Jim will be taking over from my position.
Isn't she still in
Are you clapping when I'm leaving? Are you clapping?
Welcome, Kevin.
I think I've done this for 12 years with you people in Victory Gardens. A hell of a run.
She retired from Middlesex.
Anyway.
I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
Wow, that's good.
And good luck to you.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Good night, all.
Night,
Stay
Dave.
safe and healthy.
Keep getting better.
Thank you.
All right. Guys.
Thank you, John.
Last time it showed was like
Why don't you come in when